chose the way of the hero. And they found you amusing for a while, the people of this city. But the one thing they love more than a hero is to see a hero fail, fall, die trying. In spite of everything you've done for them, eventually they will hate you. Why bother?
Because it's right.
Here's the real truth. There are 8 million people in this city, and those teeming masses exist for the sole purpose of lifting the few exceptional people onto their shoulders. You, me.
It's all about not being discouraged.
Yeah.
Listen, I've been knocked up, beat up as a kid, a younger fighter and stuff. People have been saying, I just knew never to get discouraged. I just knew I would get my day if I continue to try hard and believe in myself. I didn't, if I lost, I didn't have to act like I didn't lose. I fight him again. I fight him like I knocked him out the first time. It's all about what you believe, you know. And when you think about me, I'm a nothing guy. I'm really nothing. It's nothing. I'm not an educated guy, but I got belief in myself, and belief is more powerful than anything. Confidence applied properly will supersede a genius.
If you want to kill a big dream, tell it to a small-minded person. I told everybody at 10 years old I was going to be on TV. And I had a little problem when I said that. I had a severe stuttering problem. The assignment was write on a piece of paper what you want to be when you grow up. I'm 10. I wrote I want to be on TV. Teacher called me to the front of the class. She called me up there to humiliate me. She said, why would you write something like this on your paper? She said, who in this school ever been on TV? Who in your family ever been on TV? Who in this neighborhood ever been on TV? She said, look at you standing there. You can't even talk. How they gonna put somebody like you on TV?
Can I say something?
You can say anything. I'd love for you to talk to me, brother.
You had to go through all of that so that you could change the world, dude.
Really, I don't see that. I don't know.
You don't realize how many lives you're changing, saving, because of who you are and what you've been through and how you're willing to speak about it now.
Whatever you want to do in life, find something that you don't mind doing for the rest of your life. Find something that you like. And even if it seems like it's impossible, it's very, very possible. So don't get nervous. If you have a big goal, just chip away at it until you get to where you need to be. Whatever you want to do in life, find.
We talk about hard work all the time. It's like, you know, man, if you got to get up every single morning and remind yourself how hard you need to work, you probably need to choose a different profession. You know, because that shouldn't be there. I wake up in the morning excited to get to it. You know, if I'm not training, I'm missing it. If I'm not watching a game of basketball, I miss it. There's no place I'd rather be. And if you have that feeling, then you're truly doing what God has put you on this earth to do. We talk about hard work all the time.
I saw you post the other day. You was like, yo, when I hit that 100 million, I'm gonna put it on the gram.
Yeah, I'm gonna post that. I gotta let people see how that look.
Yeah.
Like nobody never showed me how that looked when I was poor, so I ain't had dreams or aspirations of that. As I got on the music and shit like that, I used to think like $1 million just was like the world. Even $100 million, some people that ain't the world, but to where we come from, it's like extreme wealth from the levels that of poverty we come from.
I saw you post.
I look at women different. I look at you. I look at everybody. Before everybody was my competitor. Right. Even my women, I got to talk a slick rap, make sure I think out to get some pussy. But now, as I got older, everybody became my teacher.
Right.
You know, my wife, my ex-girlfriends, relationships that didn't work out. I've learned from them. And I don't make those mistakes only if those mistakes are beneficial towards me. I'll make them on purposely.
Right.
You know, but I know how to choose my battles, which I never knew before. I never knew how to shut my fucking... When we talk about love, respect becomes more powerful than love. Look how many times love has been portrayed other than respect has been portrayed. You know?
That's interesting.
I believe the best relationships, like I have loads of people that I love, and it's only because they love themselves. And it's only because if something happened to them, they wouldn't blame me. You know what I'm saying? Or if something happens to me, I won't blame them. Or if there's something that we're not feeling right about, we don't say we're not talking to each other ever again. I believe the best relationships,
I'm not gonna let anybody speed up my process. I don't care what's happening out there. That's the great thing about, you know, having ultimate confidence in yourself is it doesn't matter what's happening. I don't care what's happening. I don't care what you're on or this person's on. This is what I like. I'm not gonna let anybody speed up.
I always like to think I'm a bad motherfucker, vicious motherfucker. I don't give a fuck, but that's a part of Ali. That's where he overshines me, because I can't understand a man that's really died for this. You know, and I talk that shit, but he's the real dick. Ali's a giant. There's nowhere other fighters can match him. He'll die for this shit. He'll die. I'm not gonna die for that.
Mike, you're such a good dude.
That's real talk. Life is about losing. As we get older, we lose our hair, we lose our teeth, we lose our mothers, our fathers, our sisters, and but it's the ones who overcome, they're lost in life and could shun away adversity and always willing to fight it every particular moment in life, are the ones that are able to transcend and be able to spread the word to other people who's in that same particular genre as they are. Life is about losing. As we get older, we lose.
It's interesting, Mike. You get emotional when you talk about Cuss. But you've said Cuss didn't like it when you showed emotion.
Oh yeah, like.
Why didn't he want you to show emotion? Did he equate it with weakness?
I don't know what he did.
You okay?
Yeah, how could I ever do an interview about him when I can start crying?
You know what my grandfather told me? You don't get as far as the motherfuckers you talk to for no reason. You'll be successful as the motherfuckers that you talk to for no reason. What I mean is, if you spend your day talking to a nigga that ain't got nothing going on, what the fuck kind of information could he offer you? Can he help you learn something? Can he teach you something in the conversation? You know what my grandfather told me?
You always have a choice to make. My thing is, I don't have time to be angry. You know how much time it takes to hold an attitude and a grudge? That's time and energy. I don't have that time. The time that it takes you to go, I don't like that person, and keep that in you over a period of time, that's a lot of time that can be devoted to something positive. I choose positive because overall positive will always beat negative.
Well, you know, Nelson Mandela said about that. He said, holding a grudge is like drinking poison and hoping it kills the other person.
You always have a
I want to thank me for believing in me. I want to thank me for doing all this hard work. I want to thank me for having no days off. I want to thank me for never quitting. I want to thank me for always being a giver and trying to give more than I receive. I want to thank me for trying to do more right than wrong. I want to thank me for just being me at all times. Snoop Dogg, you a bad. I want to.
The world's cold as a motherfucker, okay? You get older, one thing I learned, only women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally. Women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally. A man is only loved under the condition that he provides something. The world's cold as a...
If they push me to a certain point, I'll mess up in front of everybody.
Yeah,
I'm tired of the capability to just go there because it's just the way I'm brought up. Like, I never ran from anything because I never had nobody to go to. I've always had that, where I'm going. Home to get me. Ain't nobody there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I've always been in a situation where I'm forced to deal with it myself. So if they push me to a certain point, I'll mess up in front of everybody.
You are responsible for your life. And if you're sitting around waiting on somebody to save you, to fix you, to even help you, you are wasting your time, because only you have the power to take responsibility to move your life forward. You are responsible.
How much of you fighting was about winning versus just beating the shit out of the person in the ring?
It was about beating myself. To be able to accomplish the goals that I want. I made my own goal. I made all my goals delusional. And I turned my delusions into reality.
Did people laugh at you when you were 13, 14 years old, saying you want to be the heavyweight champ?
Oh, it's not my face.
I found that when you do too much, you actually do nothing. The greats are so good at one thing. When you think of Muhammad Ali, he's a boxer. You know, when you put all your energy into one thing, with Floyd, I pretty much kind of just like fucking focused on one thing, and it happened. Yeah. And I realized and recognized that ability to kind of be willing to sacrifice all this other shit for like a major win in this one category that will be like global.
Listen, you gotta be able to make a fool of yourself and not take yourself serious.
Yeah. That's a big part of success,
That's
right,
part
Mike?
of my success. Everybody thinks I'm mean, shrewd, motherfucker. I'm a fucking
No,
clown.
it's like you
know
can't
what
be
I mean?
you can't be afraid to get embarrassed or to fail, right, Mike?
No, how can you get embarrassed? We're all
Yeah.
gonna die and go somewhere. How he
Yeah.
gonna embarrass me?
Yeah.
He's no better than me. This is what it is. Listen, you gotta be able to. I always cry before I fight.
You did? Always cry before you fight? What were you crying about?
I don't know. That's just who I am.
Yeah, but go further. What's the emotion? Are you?
I'm getting ready to change into somebody I don't like.
You're getting ready to change. You change into the fighter.
Yeah.
And you don't like that fighter.
Not really. No, not really.
Wow, Mike Tyson. That's illuminating. You are the greatest fighter that ever lived, and you didn't.
How can you be a fighter if you're not afraid? Fighters have to understand the concept of dealing with fear. Fear is our friend. Fear is like fire. You know what I mean? If you're afraid of it and you let it get out of control, it can destroy you and everything around you. But if you control it, it can cook food for you. It can heat you, keep you warm. It could be your friend. It can fight for you.
It's powerful.
Power.
How can you be a? People have to be tested. Without struggle, there's no progress. We can't be. We can't feel sorry for ourselves. Stop feeling sorry for our feelings. He hurt his feelings. Fuck your feelings. Life is about surviving. We can live. Life is not short. Time is not short. It's how you use the time to make it long. Life is short when we do nothing. When we do nothing, life is short. When we sit on the ass doing that, life is short. When we're fucking illuminating our mind, life is fucking long, isn't it? You know, you ever been in one of those spots when you're working, your mind is functioning, you know, like 6 hours went by, 10 hours went by? Yeah. Then time is long and it's productive too. Right. When someone gets you angry, they're your master.
Yeah, but see, that's why I took
They
a time
control your
out.
intelligence,
I
your
took a
emotions,
time
they're
out
your
because
master,
I
you're their
don't want you
slave.
controlling my.
To a wise man, money is a fucking tool.
Yeah.
To a poor man, money is God.
Yeah.
When someone gets you angry.
You know, when I got that text from you saying how you felt about me, it was everything that I wanted to hear for the past 4 years. This is gonna sound awful, but I put myself out there so many times for you. So many times, and I'm scared you'll play me again, you know?
I wouldn't.
Yeah, you wouldn't mean to.
Who's your best friend?
Me.
Really?
I got the best advice for me. I could talk to me about anything and I will tell me the truth. You know what I'm saying? I don't want a best friend. I don't want someone who's gonna use me, or I don't want to use anyone else. Like I'm self-sufficient. Yeah.
Who's your best friend?
Me.
Really?
I got the best advice for me. I could talk to me about anything and I will tell me the truth. You know what I'm saying? I don't want a best friend. I don't want someone who's gonna use me, or I don't want to use anyone else. Like I'm
If you study people who are at the pinnacle of anything, you recognize that to get there, motivation was maybe 1% of the formula. Maybe. 1%. Winners don't need motivation. Winners need discipline. Discipline's about getting it done because it needs to get done, not because I feel like it, not because I'm motivated for it. If you study,
Whatever you want to do in life, find something that you don't mind doing for the rest of your life. Find something that you like. And even if it seems like it's impossible, it's very, very possible. So don't get nervous. If you have a big goal, just chip away at it until you get to where you need to be. Whatever you want to do.
I lost my mom when I was like 8, so I didn't really understand at that point. But later, like, they would consistently say, oh, well, you know, she's not coming back. And I'm like, yeah, she is. Yeah. I lost my mom when I was like 8.
A lot of people want to be successful, but they want to go to the club on Thursday, on Friday, on Saturday, on Sunday, and then on Monday, they're getting outperformed by everybody in the fucking office, and they're wondering, why don't I get the raise and the promotion? Shut your fucking ass up. That's why, man. Get to work, you know, and that's something that I do. I don't give a fuck about the social media.
It's a daily practice for the rest of your life to be able to deal with the foolishness of this world in a way that's productive and kind. It's a daily practice.
When you put your mind to something, I literally woke up and said I want a Maybach, and then I went and got one. So it's just really about you putting in that hard work. And y'all know I've been working hard. Whether you believe it or not, I've been working my ass off for the past 6 years straight. And I've been working on my craft, whether it comes from music, making videos, anything. You know, I put my hard work and effort into it. And even when I'm down or it's not going the way I wanted to go, I never gave up and I kept going. When you put your mind to something, I literally...
Tired is only in the mind. You tell yourself you're tired, you're gonna be tired. I don't get tired. Tired is only...
The elixir of life, it does start with meditation. Damn. You ever went to sleep and woke up tired?
Right.
I mean, the mind was never quieted. The mind never received true rest. And I ain't trying to sound like no philosopher, no prophet or nothing, but I'm not happy, but I am at peace right now. I'm talking about pure peace. Elixir of life.
If you ever see me in a Rolls Royce, a private plane, a 6 or 7-star hotel, living my life to the fullest, don't hate on me. Don't get jealous of me, because I work my ass off to get it. Everything about my life and career, I've earned it. Ain't nobody gave me shit. Nobody handed me nothing. If you want it, go get it. If you ever...
I just do whatever it takes. Like, if I want something or I have a goal, like, I will just do whatever it takes to accomplish the goal, like, no matter what. I just do whatever it takes. Like, if I want something or I have a goal, like, I will just do whatever it takes to accomplish the goal, like, no matter what. I just do whatever it takes. Like, if I want something or I have a goal, like, I will just do whatever it takes to accomplish the goal, like, no matter what.
I was trying to find peace, like a way to find peace to where I could just get some alone time and just really focus on my thoughts so I wouldn't be driving myself crazy. And I started meditating. And I found I found myself again, like right when all my blessings about to come in, it's like, it set my mind back right on what's important, you know? I was trying to find...
You made a lot of money out of your music?
Money? I mean, how much is a lot of money to you?
Yeah, that's a good question. Have you made, say, millions of dollars?
No.
Are you a rich man?
What do you mean rich? What do you mean?
Do you have a lot of possessions? A lot of money in the bank?
Possession make you rich? I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life, forever.
You made a lot of money out of...
We never drop one rice on the table. We will put the shoes like this. Whenever I go back my home, I see my son's shoes, one like this, one like this. One socks, not the socks. No discipline. When I see him in US, hi there. Because we learn it's kind of very traditional when we see old people, elderly like this. We're helping people. When he do this, yeah. Don't move, talk to me. They don't know how to talk. We never.
And then my grandmother always said, regardless of color, regardless of race, regardless of gender, she would always say, if they fuck with you, fuck with them, and if they don't fuck with you, fuck them.
Word. Ooh, that's hard.
That's a good one.
That's hard.
And then my grandmother.
Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
What did you learn from him?
A lot. You gotta be simple. You gotta be simple. You gotta work on your craft. You gotta think outside the box. And you always gotta be a kid. That's what he told me. I said, be a kid? What do you mean by be a kid? Like, you gotta mature. You gotta be a man. You know. So
someone said, where do you see Tupac 10 years from now? You said, hey, I just want to be alive. That's real for you.
That's so real. I made a metamorphosis. I'm a new person today. Because I used to strongly and honestly, I feel like I could represent my generation so much because I honestly did not care whether I lived or died. So the reason being is because if I can't live free, if I can't live with the same respect as the next man, I don't want to be here. Because God has cursed me to see what life should be like. If God wanted me to be this person and be happy here, he wouldn't let me feel so oppressed. He wouldn't let me feel so trampled on. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't let me think the things I think. And once my life is gone, it's gone. Can't nobody give it back to me. Not the judge, not the president, not the governor, not Calvin Butts, not Jesse Jackson. They can't do nothing but come to my funeral and talk pretty.
A lion raised in captivity has never been in the wild. All of his experiences have been in the cage. If all of his experiences have been in the cage, and that would be his natural habitat to him, then why do they lock the cage? They lock the cage because even though his experiences do not validate it, instincts tell him there's something else out there. And the reason so many of us are frustrated today is that we are pacing around in the cage of a job or a life or a situation that has limited us. We may not have the background for it, we may not have the training for it, but our instincts tell us, I belong out there.
In many cases, your mothers and your fathers can't be what your ideal is. Isn't that correct?
Yes, because they were broken when you got them. There are people amongst us like you and like me and many people in this room who are voluminous. We are 10-gallon people. But we may have been born into families of people who have pint capacities. When you are a 10-gallon person and you want love, you want it on a 10-gallon level. But if you fool around and hook up with a pint person, they could be giving you all that they have.
You think you're great now. Watch how great you're going to be when you learn compassion and empathy. When I was you, I wanted to be a savage. I was a savage, no doubt about it. I wanted everybody to be afraid of me. Now I want everybody to love me. Ain't that a trip? You're not going to be 22 for long. Life go back, flick of an eye. Life changes us. We're born.
Every man has two lives, and the second starts when he realizes he has just one.
Wow. Sometimes when people appear like they're loving people and they're loving everybody else is because they don't like themselves. I've learned this. The person that is friends with everybody is an enemy to himself. Sometimes when people appear like they're loving people and they're loving everybody else is because they don't like themselves. I've learned this. The person that is friends with everybody is an enemy to himself. Sometimes when people appear like they're loving people and they're loving everybody else is because they don't like themselves. I've learned this. The person that is friends with everybody is an enemy to himself. Sometimes when people appear like they're loving people and they're loving everybody.
You know, if I see something, I see opportunity, I'm going to go for it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We're all going to die one day. Live like that. Live like you could die tomorrow. You know, go for it. You know, if I see something, I see opportunity, I'm going to go for it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We're all going to die one day. Live like that. Live like you could die tomorrow. You know, go for it. You know, if I see...
Do you believe that you are worthy of happiness? Do you believe that happiness, success, abundance, comfort, fulfillment, peace, joy, love is a part of your birthright? Is that what you believe? Or do you believe something else? Because you will manifest the life that you believe. Do you believe?
There's none that I ever wanted that I didn't get. You know, I dreamed it, I wrote it down, I believed it. I surrounded myself with the right people. I surround myself with people that got it right here. You have to have it right here. Have to. You can't think you know it all. Just yesterday I made 10 million. I'm recession proof. I'm not bulletproof. I'm recession proof. None that I ever wanted.
What advice do you have for a young man in his 20s?
Make a plan. Look at what you're interested in. Get disciplined about something. Allow for the possibility that you have something important to contribute to the world, and that the world would be a lesser place without that contribution. Don't be afraid of taking on responsibility. It's where you find what sustains you in your life. You can take on too much responsibility. You have to be cautious in that regard, but that's a less common problem than not taking on enough.
What advice do you have?
I wish I understood time a little bit more, the value of it. I don't think I quite understood that then. And I'm thinking particularly like, I think I wasted a lot of time just kind of like chasing girls or like, you know, just And for what that meant for me, not meaning like I was up here sleeping around, meaning that it was
everybody's getting pimped. Whether you work a 9 to 5 or whether you work for yourself, you're getting pimped by somebody. That's not the crime. The crime is how long you allow yourself to get pimped. You have to come up. Everything is a come up. Everything is a struggle. You start from the bottom, working to the top. Everybody's getting pimped. Whether you work a 9 Everybody's getting pimped. Whether you work a 9 to 5 or whether you work for yourself, you're getting pimped by somebody. That's